We have the pink Elven player Rick at the bottom side against the orange Isengard player Luca at the top side. In the Group B, if I'm not mistaken. But you played very good, Hakan, though. You played very... By the way, guys, Hakan in the chat is Keith Pets. He played very good. For the fact that he is normally not playing Rise of the Witch King, you are adapting quite fast. Don't give up, my friends. You dodge? Is he dodging? No, he's not dodging. Dodge what? Because Luca is a main Isengard player. He likes Isengard faction the most, and he was assuming that Rick is gonna dodge. We have 2 furnaces into the Uruk pit start from Luca into the 3rd furnace. On the other side, we see 2 Malone trees into the barracks, into the 3rd Malone tree as the build order from Rick from Netherlands. Is it Netherlands or is it Holland? Dude, I was in Holland, guys, and again, Holland is a very, how can I say, modern country. So basically, I'm living in Germany, which is also a modern country, but I have seen their stuff in 2Ds on the street, which I have not seen in the past 20 years of me living in Germany, for example, right? It's very different mindseted people. Like also many of these people in Holland, they can speak English very well, right? They can communicate, like even kids, like when they're like 8-9 years old, like for example, we were visiting my aunt, so basically the cousin of my mom, and her daughter was 8 years old by the time, and she was able to speak English almost perfectly, which is pretty impressive. When I was 8 years old, my English was like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, nay, 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 nay. Hello, how are you? How old are you? That was my English, boys, when I was 8. So 3 Malone trees into the barracks, into the pikeman opening. He's gonna lead now to the trolley at the bottom side. I like Amsterdam. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was actually, you know, the English I am speaking now, I pretty much taught myself, you know, I was teaching myself by just watching films and trying to, you know, I'm personally interested in languages, but the amount of language knowledge you will learn in the school, unless you are studying the language specifically, is pretty limited. So you need to develop yourself, you know, you get like a basic knowledge, but when you want to learn more than what you're being taught, you need to develop yourself. Wargen has been used on Uruks. They are fighting now against 1 pikeman and 1 Lorien warrior, but keep in mind, this is not a battle of mindless orcs. These are Urukai. Their armor is thick and their shields broad. They will still, I believe, they will kind of win this fight. I mean, it's gonna be close, but it's a 2v1 situation, keep that in mind. Shield wall and hold ground stands to make them as tanky as possible. That's not even an option for the Lorien warriors. And archers are cheating, you know, never bring an archer to a sword fight. In the meantime, we have a second Uruk pit coming up for Luca. So Luca likes to spam units. It's a nice city to live in, but I avoid the red light district or the, yeah, I don't know, man. I was not spending a lot of time there. I was at least 2 days. One day I was in Amsterdam and 1 day in Den Haag. It's a pretty small country, to be honest, so it's like very easy to travel from one location to the other location. It's not a big country. And I knew somebody from BFME 1 community for many years. I was giving him a call. I was like, hey Beastie, I'm actually in Holland. Are you living close to the city I am living in? And he's like, hey dude, Holland is so small that you can be anywhere you want in like 2 hours. So less than 2 hours. Poero Darone, thanks for the follow, appreciate that. Means a lot. Hope you're gonna enjoy your stay. Are you cola? Are you dance? No. What are you? What are you? I know that. And it's from Jem Yilmaz. I was watching this, Mr. Balin. I like Jem Yilmaz a lot. He's so funny guy. Lorien warriors and pikemen. They are coming now for harassment. We see crossbowman. On the other side, 450 command points versus 450. The Uruks, they are clumping and they will be actually able to take down the Malone tree. That's pretty nice. Or the furnace will be found. Rick actually splitting out and playing quite aggressively with the Elven faction. That's pretty nice to see. Normally elves, they like to camp a little bit more, but he actually recruits surprisingly a lot of Lorien warriors and keeps pressuring Isengard a lot. Now I believe Isengard need to make a transition into the Warg packs, for example, or Warg riders rather, because you will need something to trample down those Lorien warriors. Creeping also the Warg layer with the pikemen. What is the plan in late game though? I believe Isengard will have a much better, not I believe, it's like 100% that Isengard will have a much better eco in the mid to late game. But you gotta keep in mind that Isengard's early game, I believe, because of that specific reason, is not the greatest if you go for the Uruks and for the Uruk pit number too early on. Because every time you want to recruit one pikeman and one Urukai at the same time, you need to invest 800 resources, which is a lot of money, right? And one archer, for example, costs you only 300, or Lorien warriors. Now you might say, but it's only 100 resource differential, but that's a lot. Because if you recruit 2 of them, it's like 200 resource differential already, you know what I'm saying? So every third one is going to be for free for you. Creeping action, Uruks, crossbowmen, lots of crossbowmen actually. He's losing a lot of furnaces. He has barely any command points available. He needs to replace them all to be able to recruit more units in the first place. Elves, they are gathering now an army worthy of the Lorien country with 1 pikeman, 2 Lorien warriors and 3 Lorien archers. So now the push will also involve the rallying call buff for more damage and armor. And the good thing about this army for Rick is he has also great structural damage. With 2 Lorien warriors, he can actually deal a lot of damage to the buildings, as for example to the furnaces and also even to the Uruk pit. Isengard went for a Kriben upgrade on the fortress, which is a great investment and it's super underrated. Everybody should be using that. It's only 500 money and you will get the chance to see more than 50% of the map. Just in case you don't know how powerful this ability is, guys. Watch this. That's the vision control of Luca. Look how much he's able to see. He's legit able to see 50%. I mean, more than 50%, because this location is not important, right? This location is not important. So he's able to see like 60% of the map. That's busted. And all of that for 500 resources only. Isengard is now leading forward.
These are Urukai. Their armor is thick and their shields broad.
Their armor is thick and their shields broad. I have fought many battles. Gimli. Theoden was kind of trying to counter him, but then he regret. Oh, hi, Glorfindel. Splash damage them, splash damage. Oh, never mind, he's running for his life. Splash damage means you can hit multiple units at the same time. Heal. He's gonna level up like crazy now. Level 3 is gonna be a huge... Actually, the amount of damage pikemen are able to deal to heroes is something else, brother. What the heck? Like, I believe 1 Uruk pikeman, I'm legit saying that, 1 Uruk pikeman with Forge Blades and War Chant can potentially 1v1 almost every single hero in the game. He's now building the statue behind for leadership. Stable level 1, barracks level 1, 2 of them. Isengard is still struggling a little bit. He has not the eco he needs to maintain these 2 Uruk pits, and he has no war pits either. I believe in this matchup you need to have Warg Riders, you know, for fast moving units, for harassment, for trampling, and just forcing the Elven player to recruit multiple pikemen, you know, to counter your cavalry. But if you don't, I guess the Elven army, infantry army will outskill you. Yeah, you have double buff, right? You can use your buff and debuff the enemy units to get yourself an advantage. But that's like a temporarily solution. It's not gonna last forever. Then once these are on cooldown, Elven Archer spam is gonna outpower you. Yeah, he did long time ago. Okay, so pikemen, Uruks, and he has a bunch of crossbowmen on the field. Kriben is available for the next big fight. 10 is gonna lead you either to the Wildman of Dunland special summon or Tainted Land, or, you know, say industry you cannot pick. If I'm not mistaken, for industry you need to pick the Vision of Palantir, but you can go for the Devastation, for the Wildman of Dunland, or for the Tainted Land. Tainted Land is also pretty underrated because it gives you also pillage. You have also lords up on the field, boys, with the orange pants, and Luca is trying to find a fight which favors him. Leadership doesn't really matter too much because cave pads are gonna nullify leadership bonuses anyway. You wanna make sure to not use it early on. If you use it right off the bat, the Lorien archers will get a chance to target your Kriben, and your Kriben is gonna get one-shotted. That's a good time, but you already took so much damage before using that. Now, smart move from Rick. You see what he's doing? He's going back. This way, he can maybe... Yeah, that's a very smart move. Very smart move. Very smart move. You see what he did? The second he saw the Kriben, he was moving out of the range, so he can't target them anymore. Then this way he was able to shoot the Kriben. Very smart, small thinking there, by the way, from Ricky, but it was paying off big time. This way he can maintain the double buff. which is amazing, right? And that's why he's dominating this battle. Glorfindel against Lords now. Oh my goodness, Glorfindel is gonna hit you like a truck. Level 3 Lords is running for his life. He needs a little bit more to get level 5 for his leadership. Yeah, there was a bad commitment from Lucas. After losing your Kribin, even before that, I think you gotta bail. You gotta disengage, because he has also the well behind for the sustain, for the recovery, even during the battle. And you cannot burst down those units fast enough, you know? And you cannot spam archers against elves and hope that you will win. You can't, you know what I'm saying? How much do they crossbowmen cost? They cost even much more. Actually, they cost like 20% more than Lorien archers too. The builder, kill him. Oh, but Rick is actually paying attention to every single detail. 9 power points in the bank. Elves have 8 power points almost after the heal and rallying call. So Isengard is actually leading in the power points department, but the lead is very minimalistic, right? It's only 1 or 2 power points ahead. That's not a big deal. Sharku, oh, that's the hero I was waiting for. That's a great hero, great investment. Sharku got nerfed a couple of times. He used to be the best hero against Elven spam. I mean, Isengard in the version 8.3 or 8.4 was actually a perfect counter to the Elven gameplay, and Sharku was playing a big part of that, right? Sharku, you could send him in. He was beefy and tanky as hell, and now I believe they nerfed his armor and his tankiness. It means he would die now much faster. But he's still good, right? He can still deal a lot of damage to archers and also to lancers. 9 power points collected, 10 should be leading you either to the Tainted Land or to the Devastation. I think Devastation is going to be the best choice, because Weapon of Dunland summon when there is Cav on the enemy side is not a great idea, because they might get trampled down the second they get spawned, and you might just waste your 10 power point, just like Shadow did in the previous game when he was summoning those towers. Alright, the furnace is going to be eventually destroyed. Beautiful trample is incoming. One more time. Flank damage, almost one-shots them. He goes actually for the Weapon of Dunland anyway, but that's a good situation if I'm not mistaken, because Lancers are not in the position, right? They are coming now from Rick, but he might lose a lot before they arrive. Mist is gonna be used to win this battle. The Porcupine Formation Pikemen, they will touch you one time and you will die. Beautiful trample. The Whiteman, he doesn't even need the Lancers, to be honest with you. The Whiteman got blown away from archers all alone, and Lords was only level 4. Level 5 is required, but leadership would be negated anyway because of the mist. So, you know, he's crippled, but there is nothing that can kill him. Sharku is recovering up over time, but Rick has the momentum, Rick has the advantage, and against the power of Elven country, there might be no victory, because Rick is leading, snowballing, and looking to finish off this game as soon as possible. Oh man, Lourdes really close to level 5. Rallying Call is going to be used now. Sharku is looking to get into the backline. He will be able to find some Lorien archers behind. The pikes are coming to crush him. He has not many pikemen remaining on the field. All Lourdes needs to do is crush this pikeman. Heal is coming in clutch. Sharku might look to dive into this backline, but there is Glorfindel, who you should not underestimate. He's going to hit you very hard. Lourdes is the last man standing with Sharku. He has not many units on the field. Luca is a player who likes to build those lumber mills too early, even when he's like at 300 command points. Maybe it's a good idea, but you can see what I'm talking about. They won't bring you too much money, right? How much do they bring? Let me check. 8. So they give you 8. The reason why we actually see in very late game lumber mills, or when we see it because of the Field of Fires, is very important, because then you make big money, right? Or when you have 1000 command points but you want to make additional money from your lumber mills, then it makes much more sense. But other than that, I think going for that early on is not very effective, in my opinion. So 600 command points for Isengard, 860 for Elf, 7 power points collected, 8 power points away from his Eagle special summon. Eagles can be quite... Oh, but he lost a builder in the meantime here in the front. It's not a big deal though at this stage of the game. Many more archers. Look at this Elven army that looks scary to me. Look at this. Lorien archers everywhere. And once again, the biggest problem here for the Elven faction player is the lack of structural damage. So you need to build an Entmoot. You need to do that, or you need to go for the Eagles. You need to do something that can give you the chance and the power and strength to take down the enemy fortress, because this army can't. This army is 90% based on Lorien archers, right? 885 command points available for elves and 650 for Isengard. 6 power points in the bank after the Weapon of the Land special summon. And yeah, so elves are definitely ahead. Nice shot from the ballista, by the way. By the way, guys, you can make the fire munition on the ballista. I have seen this one single time, but they nerfed it. If you get the fire munition on the ballista, it can legit one-shot end from 100 to 0. That was kind of busted, but I think they nerfed this, so it can't one-shot an end anymore. But look at this army. Guys, can you imagine a juicy Visa Blast or an arrow volley right in the area? Does he have Legolas? Yes, sir, he has Legolas. He was shooting at Sharku. Oh, this army though, they are so clumped. I would love to use like a Watcher summon. Can you imagine that? Like Blight, Watcher, Felvin, Longshot. Like this army likes to, I would like to see this army getting crushed. I'm being honest with you guys. But I don't think Isengard has the power. He's far away from the Watcher, far away. More than 9 power points away. 10 power points for Rick. He is 5 away from his Eagle special summon. He has a Siege Warx now. He knows the weakness of the Elven faction. That's the weakness against siege weapons. So basically the only way you can take them down is by sending in the pikeman or Glorfindel to take it down. So all he gotta do is cripple Glorfindel with your lords and you are good to go. So ballista, not the best siege weapon against units though. I mean trebuchet or the catapults from Mordor are just much greater, but I think they should be also enough to do work. So now we have the Entmoot, Treebeard, the Daddy of Ents, the protector of the Fangon Forest, is making a move. But Treebeard all alone is not going to be able to achieve too much. Big war chant, and again, a risky commitment. But there are no pikemen. Where are the pikemen at? Sharku, do it! Sharku, hit them one more time, baby. Boom, level 4. And there comes the miss. There comes the commitment. No leadership available for the Isengard army. Creebane has to move on top of the enemy archers. There is Legolas shooting you down, but Sharku does it again, does it again. Level 5. Level 7 is gonna unlock the Maneater, but holy guacamole, this Treebeard actually legitimately hitting like a truck as Sharku has been finally taken down. That's a full commitment. Glorfindel has been slain in the meantime by lords. There is a miss. We don't see enough. Level 6 unlocked, but how can you reach out to this Treebeard now? How can you take him down? He's a hero. When you damage him, he will be able to heal up over time anyway. And there was a phenomenal fight once again for the Elven faction player. He lost Glorfindel, but he killed Sharku. He killed a lot of units, and he was able to collect so many power points now to get the Eagle summon unlocked. The Eagles can be used to kill those ballista expansions and also the enemy ballistas. What you can maybe do is sneak in an explosive mine. I believe that's the only strategy which can work to kill this army permanently. The Eagles will be special summoned once again. Very soon. 13 power points in the bank for Isengard though. He is too far away from his Watcher special summon. The Watcher can also mess up the Elven army a lot, but he goes for the devastation. So he needs money. Maybe Saruman can save him. You look at his money, he has 2000 plus, but Saruman needs like a bit more than that. So we have a ballista. He's camp mode now at this point, right? He can only camp it out and hope that he will have enough money for Saruman. But the thing is, there is gonna be Glorfindel and Legolas shooting you down all the time, and I don't think that Saruman can do a lot alone. The ballista against Treebeard is taking some damage, but again, he can always heal back. You see, he can go back and heal up anyway, no problemo. We get now more ends, and he's gonna get even more ends. They cost only 700 each, and unlike the Isengard Siege Warx, you don't need to get it to level 2, right? You can just get them from the level 1, and there is no level on the end mode either, so you can just spam them. Because this end now next to Treebeard has also more armor, right? Yeah, more armor and more speed, and also more range. No, the range is the same, but you can extend the range by using the aggressive stance, which will give you additionally 15% more range. Boom. Actually, the ballistas are not hurting those ends. Maybe you need the fire munitions to make them hit like a truck. Oh, he's not going for Saruman either. We have Legolas shooting now from a safe distance. Pew, pew, one-shotting them all. Pew, pew. Level 3. 725 for Isengard, 1000 for elves. He's holding his Eagle summon. He's gonna wait for a big commitment. Dude, the Watcher summon here would be so epic, but he went for the devastation. He has so much money in the bank. He might go for Elrond. He might go for, I don't know, Thranduil if he wants to. There is Lords though. You don't want to underestimate that. Lords can cripple down your Legolas, throw the sword, use Carnage and take you down, right? Oh my goodness, man. But the siege damage from elves is still very bad. One-shotting the Malone tree, two-shotting this, say the statues, and we get now more and more ballistas recruited. Spam ballistas, that's the way you want to play against elves. I'm telling you, if you play Mordor against elves, and if you get like 5 catapults on the field, and want to make sure that you can keep them alive and protected, I think Mordor can smash elves. Because the lack of DPS against those trebuchet and catapults and siege weapons generally is horrible for elven faction. The build is running for its life. The Malone tree has been taken down. Triple ballista. There's also many ballista around the fortress, and with the fire munitions, oh my goodness, you will get the chance to see. You see the fire on the ground on the fortress, but don't leave your ballista open like that, dude. Oh no, that's gonna be painful. He has even heavy armor purchase on those Revandal Lancers, and that's a lot of money he's losing now. And what are those White Men of Tunneling gonna do? He has even the Silvertone arrows. The Ains are going to war, trampling down the White Men of Tunneling. You see this little knockback from the Silvertone arrows, elven units, elven faction. Like army against army, you have no chance, right, at this point. Lords is tanky, yes, but oh, he's actually knocking down his own lancers, but doesn't matter. They have heavy armor anyway, and that was a big W for the elven player Rick from Netherlands. So he can now just push because he has triple ends. So he has 3 beard and 2 ends. The one thing he needs to avoid, but never mind, there comes the Eagle special summon, and all they gotta do, they can one-shot the ballista expansion anyway. Watch this one-shot. Because the one thing you need to avoid is this ballista shooting your ends. If they get the chance to shoot your ends, holy guacamole, they will one-shot them. Rebuild it? Oh, but it's too late. It's too late. The siege has begun. That's the one move to victory. This is gonna be the victory for the game number 1 for Rick. Played it slow, played it smart, without throwing his lead, and always had the control of this game in the mid area. Luca is gonna call it GG, and Rick is getting one step closer to finish off this series with a victory. Demolished the Uruk pit already, and that's it. Yes, game over. We have the pink dwarven player Rick at the bottom side, and Luca once again gets his most favorite faction in the game, and that's Isengard. Luca can't complain about this matchup. He cannot complain about the faction he got, because he used to be a one-trick Isengard player. However, you gotta keep in mind that you cannot pick a faction in this tournament. You have to pick random. However, if you don't like a matchup, you can always dodge one single time in the best of series, right? So, for example, you get to play Isengard against goblins and you don't want to play this matchup, you can just dodge it one single time. But if you get it again, you cannot dodge anymore. So, you need to be wisely with your choice of dodging or which game you should be dodging. 2 furnaces into the war pit start for the Isengard player, you are a lucky man. And Rick is building up 2 mineshafts into Roll of Warriors. So now, Rick could obviously dodge, right? But he doesn't have to. Because he's 1-0 ahead. When you are 1-0 ahead, you are winning, and you have nothing to lose. You don't need to dodge. You can always dodge in the deciding game if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Because the chance that he might dodge this and get a Wars matchup is pretty high. 2 mineshafts, Hall of Warriors into the Guardians. On the other side, Warg Pits into the Warg Packs. And that is the, oh my goodness, Rick actually going for a very early offensive mineshaft. The thing about the Warg Packs is they are not very strong against Guardians, right? The only way you can win against them is you need to use the whole ability and use the Creepane from your spellbook like you choose to debuff the enemy units. That's your only bet. Not even then you can win, if I'm not mistaken, because the Warg Packs are not good fighters. They are good for harassment to deal economical damage, but they are not good to fight against Guardians, one of the tankiest swordmen in the game. So maybe you can fight against, I don't know, like Lorien Warriors or Goblins or Orcs, but Guardians are definitely not weak. You know, they can hit very hard. So 1 Pikeman and 1 Guardian can be a great combo, and that's a very early archer range coming up for Rick. So yeah, that's gonna be a very early push. Luca has no knowledge, he has no information about what's gonna happen, and that's why I believe in this matchup. Going for the Creepane upgrade on your fortress is going to be essential, right? On a map like Sorrowile, which will give you vision around this area, you will see from here until here. And you're against dwarves. That's so incredibly impactful if you go for the upgrade later on. Dude, that will be a very helpful tool to win the game. So the Warg Packs are coming. but they are getting one-shotted by the pikemen. Rallying call is going to be used. One more warp pack, but they can't do nothing against those pikemen. They cannot. He needs to use Creepane now, yes sir, to make them a bit weaker. He's trying to body block, by the way. That's what he's trying to achieve. But he might lose a lot of these warp packs. Look at them getting slaughtered. And Isengard has no recovery. He has no well. He has no way of getting those units back. He has no banner either, right? You need to build the armory for that. And the furnace is going to be taken down. That's a win-win situation in my book. He will be able to take down the furnace, making him use the Creepane and still deal a lot of damage to his units. So that's like a very good start for Rick. And here's the mineshaft still remaining on the field. So Lucas has to now be careful, and he needs to be kind of asking himself, where are those units coming from? So scouting is extremely important. Yes, he will be able to find this, but it's a little bit too late because there are more units coming out as we are talking. And Isengard has only one single crossbowman, right? Yeah, he has only one single crossbowman. He needs more infantry. Like, these war packs are being hardcore countered by the pikemen, because he has now also extroverts. Extroverts are great against crossbowmen too. And during all this time, Rick is untouched. That's a very OG playstyle from dwarves. That's not even the new meta. We don't see that very often now in 2022, to be honest with you. Normally, dwarves are playing a bit more slow, as we are talking, you know, in 2022, in the patch 8.5 at least. They build like 3 mineshafts defensively, go for like a 4th mineshaft in the middle of the map, not go too aggressively early on. But Rick is playing the OG dwarven gameplay. 2 mineshafts and the 3rd one is being built offensively. Like, that's the one dwarven gameplay we have seen a lot in the past years. Nice surrounding from Rick. He might be able to take it down. The Guardians are still able to fight against the Warpacks, by the way. The Warpacks are just not great fighters like mentioned before. The builder! Look at us paying attention. Okay, that's good. But the Furnace, that's a bad positioning also. You don't want to position like... When you position like that, you actually handicap yourself. Do you see that? He didn't position that to the stones. That's why he's able to climb between the stone and the Furnace. So you don't want to position yourself like that and help your opponent to kill your Furnace a bit faster. 300 command points, but he has not enough. 450 command points available. 50% more command points for Rick against Lukat. And Lukat, though, he cannot complain about his faction because Isengard is his most favorite faction. Hey Max, welcome. Okay, more extroverts, more pikemen. He needs more pikemen, by the way. That's the only way he can win this in long terms, to keep those war packs away from you. And what you can do in this matchup is you can place 1 pikeman inside your mineshaft and keep him there. And whenever you need to get him on the field to defend your mineshaft against the war packs, you can just get him out and scare them away, and then you can place him once again back into the mineshaft. You know what I'm saying? Just keep him permanently in the mineshaft if you can. I mean, this is gonna be a good situation for Lukat. He will be able to defend this, but so far, after like 5 to 6 minutes of the game, Lukat wasn't able to move out from his own castle for a single second. Oh, big commitment, rallying call. Again, he's helping with this wall hub, because when oh my, it's hard. Are you streaming every day now? I don't know, my friends. I will try to stream frequently. Like, my goal is to stream at least 3 days a week. But because of the tournament, we might make an exception to the rule, and I might be able to stream much more often, especially during the tournament. Six power points collected after the rallying call. 500 command points available for dwarves, and we have 425 6 power points collected after the Creepane for Isengard play Lukat. Creepane is doing a good job to defending. That's pretty good. Oh, the builder. Oh, actually, extroverts are dealing so much damage to the builder. They almost one-shot him too. More reinforcements are coming from Ricky from the other side of the map. He's splitting a lot, and every time he's sending out those extroverts, they have also 1 pikeman coming with them, which is very important. The war packs, keep in mind, they are not able to trample you down, right? They are like swordmen. They are melee fighters. They have not the chance, unlike the war riders, to trample down your guardians or extroverts, which makes them, once again, not to a very strong 1v1 unit. The furnace is going down, this furnace is going down. Isengard is losing a lot of map control, a lot of money, a lot of command points. He's dropping down to 325 command points only. He has Warchan, yes, but all he can do is sit here and wait to be attacked. That this way you can hopefully defend long enough to go for the one massive counter push, which is not going to be even massive because he has not many units on the field. So he doesn't only lose buildings, but also he keeps losing units all the time. You have many war packs. I mean, Lukat is in love with those dogos, guys. Like, look at this. Leave one wolf alive and the sheep are never safe. It's a huge army actually at the early game. That's a lot of war packs up on the field. Right? They have whole ability. They can also be war chanted at the same time. I mean, not at the same time, but you can war chant them when the whole ability is on cooldown to maintain your buff. You have a battle wagon up on the field. He knows Kribin is on cooldown. That's the momentum. That's the time for you to shine. Riding Call is almost back up. He will also have, during the fight, by the way, the Hobbit summon available. That's a huge dwarven army with plenty of extroverts. The war packs are now going for a counter harassment. They are looking for mineshafts around this area, but they won't find anything. They won't find nothing. You will be able to find this mineshaft and take it down too, but it's okay because dwarves are leading from the middle side of the map. He's trying to flank them eventually. He might have to, because once they clump around this side, he will be able to take down your war pit, and he will also be able to take down your Uruk pit. The furnace is going down. The war packs are like 80% of the population of the Isengard player. Hobbit summon and Rallying Call them. Oh yeah, that's the juicy boys. That's the juice of the dwarven army. Boom, boom, boom. The army got doubled. And they will hit so extremely hard. Kribin has to be used the second it's available. But the thing is, you don't want to use it too early too, because extroverts might be able to kill it. The war pit has been taken down, which by the way is a helpful move from Rick against Lukat, because Lukat has to definitely stop making war packs at this point. He's going for a counter attack. With the whole ability, he has Warchan and Kribin available for the defense, but he has not enough units to defend this, right? Where are these units from the Isengard player? They are so far away. He has one Uruk, one Pikeman, and that's all about it. He has, again, 80% of the population are those war packs, and the amount of damage you can now deal in return is nothing in terms of the amount of damage you will now receive. Because the Dwarven army is so much stronger. You lost your Uruk pit, you lost your war pit, you have lost the possibility to recruit any more additional units anytime soon. And all it takes now is big commitment on the fortress. He might be even able to take it down, and that might be the final game, which will be won by Rick, beating Lukat's main and favorite faction not once, but twice with two different factions, and Rick is popping off. Look at that, big commitment. We have Frodo Baggins, the Ring Bearer, next to Meriadoc Brandybuck, next to Peregrine Took, and next to the Fat Hobbit, as Gollum would like to call him, with his hairy feet. Look at him, guys. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, man. Did I hurt your feeling? Because he disappeared when I called him fat. And the fortress is going down. GG, I'm too nap for this. GG is gonna be called. And Rick is going to be one step closer now to the round of 16.